Good evening. You're tuning into 7Edition. I'm Xantia Rohaizad, and these are tonight's headlines. Malaysians need to wait at least 20 years for kidney transplant. Pregnant woman among 4 killed at construction site. And Datuk Sri Anwar positive on working relationships with Datuk Sri Azmin. Now, a recent study has revealed that about 22,000 kidney patients who received treatments in public hospitals nationwide are forced to wait at least 20 years before they get a chance to receive a new organ. This makes Malaysia the country that has the longest waiting period for patients to undergo organ transplants compared to other countries in Europe and Asia. Our fellow producer Prita Manivanan has the details.
According to the National Transplant Resource Centre, NTRC, the country's organ donation rate currently stands at less than 1 per million population. Such a figure pales in comparison to countries such as Spain, which has 35 donors for the same population amount. The same statistic also shows that only 560 Malaysians have pledged their organs since the establishment of the 23-year-old centre. Such an acute shortage of organ donors has clearly left patients in dire need of a new lease of life, including those who suffer from kidney failure in a huge dilemma. This, as the longer kidney patients wait for a new organ, the worse their chances of receiving a new donated organ, as they would be removed from the waiting list based on medical restrictions due to age and not being fit for surgery.
Menjadi pengikrar bukan bermakna kita akan mesti menjadi penerima, tetapi kita support program penerimaan organ, di mana dengan adanya program derma organ ini kita memberi satu kehidupan ataupun memberi satu sinar harapan kepada mereka yang memerlukan, especially mereka yang mengalami kegagalan organ pada peringkat akhir.
More awareness programs need to be organized to increase public knowledge as well as confidence in organ donation. This includes the Super Organ Fund Run and the Health Carnival hosted by the Sultanah Fatimah Specialist Hospital this morning.
I feel like after we death, we cannot leave anything to the one we need unless the money and property. So I feel like this is a good deed and then very meaningful. If let's say my life, add organ can help the add life, I feel like it's very fulfill the meaning of life, and then other people also can benefit and then continue for living.
Saya rasa ini satu satu perkara yang sangat bermakna dalam kehidupan saya. Sebab kalau saya meninggal pun, organ-organ dalaman saya tak ada diguna pun kan. So organ-organ tu boleh digunakan untuk menyelamatkan banyak orang lah.
Joined by 300 runners, the inaugural event that included a 5-kilometer run was held at the Sultan Ibrahim Stadium in Muar Johor. Prita Manivanan for 7Edition.
Now, 4 people were killed after part of a house under construction at Kampung Matang Pagar in Sungai Buloh collapsed today. The 4 were also believed to have been electrocuted during the 1 p.m. incident. Selangor Fire and Rescue Department Chief Norazam Khamis said the dead were 3 men and a pregnant woman. 2 of them were Indonesians. It was believed that the staircase, which was also under construction, collapsed on the pregnant woman, while the 3 men were electrocuted when they tried to rescue her. 7 firemen and rescuers from Sungai Buloh Fire Station were dispatched to the scene. In Pahang, a woman and her 2 children were killed in a fire involving 4 houses in Kampung Sungai Isak, Kuantan today. 4 other family members were also injured and currently being treated for burn injuries at the Tengku Ampuan Afzan Hospital. 2 houses were totally destroyed, while 2 other units had minor damages in the 7:45 a.m. incident. The deceased were identified as 37-year-old Sharifah Azlina Said Kasim, 11-year-old Muhammad Haikal Hakimi Hairul, and 7-year-old Muhammad Adam Daniel. Their charred remains were found in 2 bedrooms. The other 5 family members were rescued by neighbors but suffered burn injuries. They are Sharifah Azlina's husband, Hairul Khalid, her brother, Said Azman Said Kasim, his wife, Norazillah Abdullah, and Norazillah's sister, Nur Shawalina Abdullah. Said Azman's son, 6-year-old Muhammad Alif Ashraf, meanwhile escaped unhurt and is now under the care of relatives.
Kita telah mengapasti bahawa daripada ni di bahagian bilik di belakang, di mana yang mangsa yang 5 tadi mereka berada di bilik hadapan, mereka dapat keluar, tetapi mangsa yang berada di bilik belakang, ibu dan 2 kanak-kanak lelaki tadi berada di bilik belakang dan mereka mungkin terperangkap di situlah.
He added the unit was completely destroyed in the mishap. The cause of the fire remains under investigation. A motorcyclist crashed his machine into the rear of a lorry before being run over by the motorcycles of 2 friends in tow and a car. The accident occurred at North-South Highway near Bukit Berunting at about 2:30 a.m. According to the police, 18-year-old Muhammad Fakurazik crashed into the lorry, which was traveling on the left side of the highway. Due to the impact, the victim fell off his bike and was struck by his 2 friends aged 18 and 19. A Nissan Sentra trailing behind also hit the victim and his 2 friends, who sustained injuries. The motorist and lorry driver escaped unhurt. The mother and brother of a 14-year-old girl with a learning disability have been remanded for 4 days to facilitate investigations into the alleged abuse of the girl. The remand order was issued by Kangar Court's Assistant Registrar, Monica Joseph Gaisa. The 40-year-old woman and her 15-year-old son, who is also the elder brother of the girl, were arrested at their home in Kampong Gial Tengah, Mataaye, Perlis yesterday after a video showing the neglected girl went viral on Friday. The clip shows a teenage girl being neglected and left outside the house. It was reported that the teen was not fed by her family and was allegedly beaten as there were bruises and injuries on her back, left wrist and neck. Perlis Police Chief SAC Nur Mushar Mohammed, when contacted, said the girl was being treated at the Tuanku Fauzia Hospital in Kangar and the police were waiting for the medical report. He added that evidence has also been obtained from an individual known as Jurais to assist in investigations under the Child Act. Moving on, restoration of water supply in the 7 regions in Selangor and Kuala Lumpur affected by unscheduled disruptions due to odor pollution was at 94% at noon today. IS Selangor Sendirian Berhad Customer Relationship and Communications Department Head Abdul Rauf Ahmad said in Kuala Selangor and Hulu Selangor regions, the water supply has been fully restored. As for Kuala Lumpur and other districts in Selangor, the water supply has been restored in stages between 78% and 99%. IS Selangor is targeting to fully restore water supply in Gombak by tomorrow, while in Kuala Lumpur by Tuesday, while the 3 other districts by noon on July 24th. In other development, PKR President Dato Sri Anwar Ibrahim considered the party's 3-day retreat in Port Dickson a success, despite the absence of his deputy Dato Sri Azmin Ali and several other senior leaders. After receiving the support of 120 leaders who attended the retreat, Dato Sri Anwar said he is prepared to work with Dato Sri Azmin as a team. Speaking to reporters at the end of the retreat, the PKR president acknowledged the internal differences in his party. However, he stressed that these problems were minor and have been exaggerated by the media.
We acknowledge there are problems in any party. If the leaders are deemed to be responsible and accountable, we acknowledge they have to deal with teething problems. And what is critical to my mind is that the spirit and the consensus built here is that people want to move on. That these problems are actually minor and exaggerated to a large extent, and being highlighted. The good work done by the government of Pakatan Harapan and the party in articulating the reform agenda in Parliament has been not necessarily largely ignored, but not given prominence.
Dato Sri Anwar also urged PKR leaders and supporters to redirect their attention from the reported rifts in the party and to focus on public issues which needed more prominence. On Dato Sri Azmin, the party president insisted he would have no issues working with his deputy.
Are you going to work with your deputy on this to strengthen the party? Are you going to work with your deputy?
Why? What? The question is completely irrelevant. The deputy president is the deputy president. We need to work as a team through regular meetings, regular discussions.
You're still a
It's
team.
no problem. It's a team.
The retreat also concluded with a resolution to fully support Datuk Sri Anwar as the party president and to lead and direct PKR as the main party within Pakatan Harapan in line with the party constitution. In other news, the Sultan of Selangor, Sultan Sharafuddin Idris Shah, and his consort, Tengku Permaisuri Norashikin, graced the tree planting program organized by the state government today. 1,500 shade trees and 3,000 types of shrubs would be planted by 2,000 participants, comprising civil servants, students of higher educational institutions, school children, and non-governmental organizations over an area of about 5.8 hectares of land. At the event, Sultan Sharafuddin planted a Switania macrophylla or tunjuk langit tree, while Tengku Permaisuri Norashikin planted a Delonix regia, better known as Pokok Semara Api. Langkawi witnessed a digital switchover from analog to digital TV service today. Media Prima's and RTM's analog television transmission in Gunung Raya was shut down at 2:30 a.m. today, with digital TV's My Freeview replacing it.
In terms of the readiness, right, this is exactly why we chose Langkawi, because in terms of the transmission site that covers the entire of the island of Langkawi, it is from one single transmitter over here in Gunung Raya.
Efforts are now being made to create awareness among members of the public nationwide who may not be aware of the transition. When we come back, Hong Kong braces for fresh wave of mass protests. Stay with us. We're back with foreign news. Police and demonstrators braced for more mass protests in Hong Kong on Sunday, the latest in weeks of unrest in a political movement that shows few signs of slowing. My colleague Preeta Manivannan has the report.
Thank you, Xantia. A planned march on Sunday marks the 7th consecutive weekend when residents have come out en masse against the government. Now, the protests, which began over a now suspended extradition bill, have turned into a wider democracy movement in the Chinese territory. The bill has since been suspended, but that has done little to quell public anger, which has evolved into a wider movement calling for democratic reforms, universal suffrage, as well as a halt to sliding freedoms in the semi-autonomous financial hub. Now, ahead of Sunday's march to the city centre, police built water barriers around their headquarters and set a security cordon around the government complex. Metal fences, garbage bins and other street materials, which demonstrators have dismantled and made into makeshift barricades in the past protests, have also been removed. Now, on Sunday morning, hundreds of social workers staged a demonstration near the government complex in Admiralty in central Hong Kong. The police have already warned of possible violence. Earlier, authorities said they discovered 2 kilograms of extremely powerful homemade explosive, triacetone triperoxide or TATP, as well as petrol bombs, acid, knives and metal rods. Police estimated a turnout of 103,000 people at the peak of the rally, while local media cited organizers as saying 316,000 attended. That's all the updates I have for you now. Back to you, Xantia.
Thanks, Preeta. Now, the U.S. was sweating through a weekend of dangerously hot weather, with major cities including New York, Philadelphia and Washington experiencing temperatures approaching 38 degrees Celsius. The oppressive heat wave stretching from the Midwestern plains to the Atlantic coast had nearly 150 million people struggling to stay cool.
According to the National Weather Service (NWS), heat index values, combining the effect of heat as well as humidity, could reach 43 to 46 degrees Celsius, particularly in the east. It warned that dangerously high temperatures and humidity could quickly cause heat stress or heat stroke if precautions are not taken. The heat was expected to continue through late Sunday as a high-pressure system off the Atlantic coast ushered in steamy subtropical air. People were advised to stay hydrated, watch out for the sick as well as the elderly, stay inside as much as possible, and do not leave children or animals in cars. The heat wave already claimed at least 3 lives, including 2 earlier in the week in the eastern state of Maryland. Climate data showed June was the hottest month on record worldwide, with a heat wave across Europe smashing national records.
At San Diego Comic-Con 2019 on Saturday, Marvel Studios took to the stage and revealed the upcoming superhero movies and TV shows from the studio. The movies announced, as fans expected, will make up Phase 4, the first of which will be released in 2020, while the last confirmed date is late 2021, with multiple announced films currently remaining undated. These are the titles that fans can look forward to over the next 2 years. To kick things off, Marvel Studios president Kevin Feige announced that Angelina Jolie and Salma Hayek will front ensemble film The Eternals in November 2020, which will feature the franchise's first deaf superhero. Marvel's next round of new films will kick off with Scarlett Johansson's Black Widow in May next year. Later in 2020, Anthony Mackie and Sebastian Stan will reprise their roles for the Falcon and the Winter Soldier. It will be followed in February 2021 by Shang-Chi and The Legend of the Ten Rings, the first Marvel superhero film to be led by an Asian actor. Benedict Cumberbatch will also return for Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness in May 2021. It was announced that Natalie Portman will also return for the 4th installment of Thor, taking the hammer as a female version of the Norse deity. He finished the show, the most anticipated of the 4-day event, by announcing that Oscar winner Mahershala Ali will front a Blade reboot. But the biggest takeaway from the Saturday presentation was how important Marvel will make Disney Plus, the new digital streaming product and Netflix rival that the Walt Disney Company is launching in November. Mega-budget shows to air on the new streaming service from Marvel's parent company will include WandaVision, starring Elizabeth Olsen and Paul Bettany, and Tom Hiddleston's Loki. It's time for our daily segment, Clickbait, where we take a look at what's trending and making the rounds in the cyber world today. Often, parents would go out of their way just to ensure their little ones are free from harm. However, not everybody have the same thought, as some willingly disregard potential risks by putting their children in places that they should not be in. Taking to Facebook, a netizen shared a video of parents letting their children sit not inside of the car, but on top of it in Johor. Here's what happened. The 6-second video by Chitran Tamil Chelvin showed 2 boys clinging to the top of a moving Toyota Vios at top speed. As if that's not enough, the car can be seen running a red light in the process. The incident, which took place at Sintex Pasir Gudang, has since garnered more than 150,000 views on Facebook. Other images showed the kids lounging on the car boot, taking a sip of water while the vehicle stopped at a junction. Many slammed both the driver and children for their reckless act, saying that they should not tempt fate. Meanwhile, police have received a report on the incident and are currently in the midst of identifying the driver as well as the children involved. Let's take a break, but coming up, C300 win hearts with a fresh, new, sophisticated look. Details next. Thanks for staying with us. Malaysia's challenge at the Indonesian Open Badminton Championships has come to an end as Chan Peng Soon, Goh Liu Ying and Tan Kian Meng Lai Peijing crashed out in the semi-finals in Jakarta on Saturday. World number 5 Peng Soon Liu Ying's hopes of reaching their second straight final were dashed when they were beaten by China. It was the Malaysians' third straight defeat to the world number 2. World number 16 Kian Meng Peijing's gallant run were also halted by Chinese pair Zheng Siwei, Huang Yaqiong. The defeat of the two Malaysian pairs thus ended Malaysia's hopes of producing their first mixed doubles winners in the prestigious tournament since its inception in 1982. Manchester United have rejected Inter Milan's €60 million offer for Romelu Lukaku. United reportedly received this bid from Inter Milan 2 days ago, which was rejected out of hand as it falls well short of their valuation.
In this moment, we are talking about a player of another club, and for this reason, I think that it's right to don't talk about Lukaku. Because I have great respect for United, and as I said before, and for sure I consider this player.
Lukaku missed the pre-season friendly between the two clubs in Singapore on Saturday after complaining of an ankle injury and was seen talking to Inter officials on the pitch after a victory for United. Inter are now contemplating lodging another offer, and Antonio Conte, who confirmed his interest in the player on Friday, made it clear again after the match that he was still keen to take the Belgian striker to Serie A. Mercedes-Benz has tightened its grip in the C-sector market with the introduction of the 2018 W205 C300 AMG line at the end of last year. The C300 has won the hearts of its admirers with its fresh and sophisticated look and its upgraded technologies. Thanks to Mercedes-Benz Malaysia, Sabrina Zainal took this car for a spin.
Hi, I'm Sabrina Zainal and welcome back to another episode of Hot on Wheels Nightlines Auto segment. Today we are getting a taste of the Mercedes W205 C300 AMG line. What a beauty, right? Okay, so we are going to be looking at 5 things, which are comfort, handling, performance, and the safety features, as well as the design, of course. So, let's go. Safety first. All right, so first things first, this machine is powered by a 2.0-liter 4-cylinder turbocharged petrol engine, and it's fitted with a 9-speed automatic transmission. And this C300 churns out 258 PS and 317 Newton meters of torque. Now, with all that, it can go from 0 to 100 kilometers per hour in 5.9 seconds, top speed of 250 kilometers per hour. The maximum torque of the C300 remains unchanged at 370 Newton meters, but is now available from 1,800 RPM compared to the 1,300 RPM it was previously, with peak remaining at 4,000 RPM. The 9G Tronic 9-speed transmission is among the latest technologies installed in the C300, besides its airmatic suspension. The exterior revisions are subtle. At the front, changes include new bumper designs and a diamond pin grille. As for the rear, the facelifted C300 has the same LED tail lamps like its predecessor, but with new C-shaped light guides. The bumper also has a new lower section and, of course, the limelight of this new C300, new wheel designs. All right, so one of the main highlights of the C300 are the safety features, and it's really, really impressive. This is a really smart car. Okay, so one of the things that that I've spotted so far is that it has the lane change warning. So if you, let's say, if I kind of go slightly into this lane next to me, the steering wheel will start to vibrate. So it's telling you, hey, you're going into another lane. And it has the blind spot collision warning. It also has, it beeps when you give a signal and you're going to change lanes, but if there's a car behind you, it beeps and it tells you, it warns you that there's a car. This variant features an AMG line exterior and interior, complete with black open-pore ashwood trim. 3 interior colors, black, brown, and red, are available for the car, which rides on 19-inch 5 twin-spoke AMG wheels. The higher specification model adds on multi-beam LED with ultra-range headlamps, a Burmeister sound system to the Audio 20 GPS system, and an AMG Sport steering wheel in Napa leather. The C300 facelift updates the 12.3-inch digital cockpit display with 3 different display styles. There is also a new high-resolution 10.25-inch centrally mounted media display that can be operated with 2 touch control buttons on the steering wheel. The touch-sensitive control on the steering wheel responds to swiping motions like the screen of a smartphone. This allows the driver to control the functions of the instrument cluster and the infotainment system with both hands on the steering wheel. The infotainment system also has Android Auto and Apple CarPlay connectivity. Okay, so one of the things that really, really impressed me though is the 360 camera. And it pops up automatically. So if, let's say, there's a car or a person walking near the C300, it'll automatically pop up. It'll show what the person or thing is, and then it'll give you a warning as well. So that is really impressive. You don't have to select anything. It'll just show you, hey, there's something near your car, and I really like that. So right now I'm driving in comfort mode, and safe to say it's a really good highway cruiser. I just want to chill in this car, honestly. Like, it's really smooth and it's quiet as well, even though the engine is actually pretty loud. So yeah, that's pretty impressive. I like how they've designed this machine so that, you're just really comfortable, even though it's a, sporty sedan. Other safety kit includes in this exciting 2018 C300 are 7 airbags, active brake assist, and autonomous emergency braking as standard on both models. Okay, so now we are going to try the sport mode. Let's ship it now. Oh, it's more responsive compared to the comfort mode. This engine sounds so good. It's actually pretty responsive. When I hit the throttle, it's not too bad. Ooh. Now I can feel the power of this C300. I couldn't tell the difference going from between comfort to sport mode, but I think it's slightly more responsive when you hit the throttle compared to comfort mode. Well, all right, well, tell me. I wanna jam it with you. Well, tell me, and I hope you like All right, overall, really good drive. I love that it's so comfortable, and the performance and handling were great. I can really feel the power of the machine, and it really excites me. But the thing that really impressed me the most was, I have to say, the safety features. You know, as a lady driver, I wanted to be safe on the roads. So everything that was happening, like, it's a smart car, so it's got eyes and ears, and it's telling me everything that's happening around me, and I didn't even have to do anything. So that was what really takes the cake. So apart from that, interior design, great, refined cabin, plush seats, it's got the whole package.
Sabrina Zainal, 7Edition.
Gonna take it for another spin. Bye.
From stars spangling the night sky to flames shooting from the stage, even the costumes light up the Orangery Garden at Versailles in Marie Antoinette. For 4 shows in the month of July, French Pyrotechnical Theatre Company presents a 1-hour display of lights, color, and music. Visuals of the highlights wrap up 7 Edition this evening. I'm Xantia Rohaizad. Thanks for tuning in, and good night.